Hi guys, and welcome to this video where we are going to be looking at the start of iteration. So iteration can take two forms in an exam. You could have a straightforward question where you have to just perform an iteration, and generally it will have a real world application, as you can see in this problem here. And all you have to do in that situation is make sure you know how to program your calculator. So I think this is a much easier way of being given an iteration question, and I'm hoping for your sake that it does come up in this format. So if we just look at this question, the easiest way to do this is just dive straight in. The value of Tom's car t years from now is given as v and then a little t. Okay, and that little t can just be replaced by any value of t. So it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, and that just means value in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, t years. So v0, so the value of the car 0 years from now, in other words the value of the car today, is 15,000. The value of the next year in any given year is going to be 0.88 multiplied by 50 plus the current value. So you would find out what the current, take what the current value is, add 50, times it by 0.88, that gives you next year's value. You would then take that value, add 50, times it by 0.88 to get the year after. So it's iteration because you keep doing the same thing, you keep repeating that process. Now you could do this manually and write out every single year the new value and then type that into your calculator, but we can speed it up a little bit. Okay, so there's a very fine line you need to tread between speeding up and also making sure you get all of those marks. So what I'm going to do then, we know that V0 is 15,000. V1, so the value of the car after 1 year, I can find using iteration, or 2 years, or 3 years. Now I'm going to work out the value of the car every year for the next 4 years, just for completion, just to try and get as many marks as possible from the examiner. So what you always have to do with any iteration question is you take your start value, so in this case 15,000. Sorry, there's a car outside, I'm just going to wait for that to go. And then we are going to press equals on our calculator, and that has stored it. That has stored whatever we've just worked out, which is 15,000, in your calculator, and you can access that by pressing answer. Okay, if you press equals, you can see answer is equal to 15,000. So we can very carefully program our calculator to use that answer and use any given answer that we've just worked out. So if I type in 0.88 multiplied by 50 plus our answer, remember at the moment our answer is 15,000, it's going to work out what that is. So this is going to give me the value of the car the year after year 0, in year 1. So if I press equals, it gives me 13,244. Now the value in year 2, remember this answer here is whatever you've last worked out in your calculator. So the last thing we've worked out in our calculator is 13,244, which is quite handy because the next thing we need to work out is 0.88 times by 50 plus 13,244. So all I have to do is press equals again, and it gives me £11,698.72. Now I need to take that and apply it to this formula. So you can see I'm saving myself so much time rather than having to write it out every single time in my calculator just by pressing equals. That's value in year 3, £10,338.8736. We'll do some rounding at the end. And remember, I want it after 4 years, so V4 is going to be 9,142.208768. Okay, we need to use a little bit of common sense here. It's an amount of money, so we are going to want to round it to an appropriate degree of accuracy. So we're going to round it to the nearest penny. His car is going to cost £9,142.21. That's just been rounded to the nearest penny. So notice I do write down the value every single time. I don't write out the whole calculation because that would take me the entire exam, but I do need to make sure I write out what my answer is every single time. Okay, make sure as well you do, if there is an answer box, or a line to put your answer, you do put your final answer in there. Don't just assume the examiner will see that. Write down your answer, do any appropriate rounding, and put it into your answer box. Okay, so what I'm going to do, you may want to just pause it there and make any notes. I'm going to give you an example for you to have a go at now. So you need to be careful with the programming of your calculator. It's a good chance for you to practice. So I'm just going to show you the next question. The number of people living in a town Y years from now is P and then a little y, where P0 is 20,000, Py plus 1 is 1.05 times Py minus 800. How many people are living in the town in 3 years' time? So pause the video now and have a go at this question, remembering to put down every single step, every single value after year 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so I should have actually said before you pause the video, you should always be looking out for, whenever you see this little subscript, so the little letter or the little number, is an example of iteration. Okay, that is what you are going to be doing. So you're going to want to think about programming your calculator to have the answer button or the answer symbol involved in your answer, or you're working. So hopefully your working out looks like this. P0 is 20,000. That's my starting number. P1 is going to be, well, I'm going to put 20,000 into my calculator, make sure I've got the right number of zeros, press equals, and that's stored in there as the current answer, the most recent thing I've worked out. So I can type in 1.05 times by brackets answer, take away 800. Just make sure that this matches up with what I've got here. Remember, the only difference between this and this should be, instead of PY, it's answer. Okay, that just means the most recent thing. This just means the most recent population or number of people. So then I'm going to press equals. Okay, so after year 1, it's 20,160. In year 2, it's 20,328. And in year 3, it would be 20,504.4. Now this is where some context comes into it. You're not going to have 0.4 of a person, you're going to want to round that. So your final answer would be 20,504 to the nearest whole number. So remember, write down every single one of those steps and you will hit those marks. In my next video, I will be looking at the slightly harder, purer iteration questions, but the good thing about those is they follow a formula. There'll be 6 marks on offer and you will be able to pick up a lot of marks. I'm confident of it. So make sure you do keep an eye out for that, guys. Hopefully it will be uploaded at the same time, and I hope this has been helpful for you. Bye.